The high school students of the Sachem School District have a unique opportunity that very few other high schools offer: a radio station. Not only a radio station, but one that broadcasts at 6,000 watts of power and can be heard all across Long Island, from Queens to Riverhead. The man in charge is Mark Laura, a Sachem graduate himself from 1987.
My broadcast career actually started right here at this very radio station. I was trying to find my niche, like most high school kids. My guidance counselor one day actually said to me, hey, what do you want to do with your life? And at that point, really didn't have an answer for her. And in her own way, just doing her job, she says, you're very articulate. Have you ever thought about doing radio? That's cool. Can I check it out? So she brought me down to the radio station, introduced me to the general manager of the station, and they gave me a little mini tour, and I thought it was like the coolest thing ever on the planet. So what I did was, as soon as I got back to her office, I said, well, how do I get involved? Enroll me.
A former employee of WBLI and the Associated Press, Laura has spent over 20 years in the radio industry. Since becoming the general manager of 91.9 WSHR in 2001, he is not only the man in charge, but the only paid employee that is directly associated with WSHR.
It's one I take very seriously. Basically, I do every function in the radio station, from the engineering aspects to the programming aspects to washing the dishes sometimes if I have to, or whatever needs to be done around the radio station. We are listening to music for bad words, because that's what we do here at this radio station. We make sure we don't violate any FCC rules and regulations here. But primarily what we do is, our students are the actual staff. I train them, show them how to use all the equipment and stuff.
Students in 11th and 12th grade can sign up for the broadcast journalism class, which is the class associated with the radio station. And as it is often with any class, the best students are the ones who put the most dedication into it.
Okay, you're going to be doing something extremely unique and something that can be very rewarding. However, because it is a real radio station, there are rules and regulations that you must follow. And as a radio professional, I expect those to be followed. Go into setting up the show, the terminology, formatic structures and things like that. How does a radio station get measured as far as, people, listenership, all that. And then you go in there and you get trained for the equipment. What we do is we tour the station first, so they get to see everything. And then afterwards, we obviously have to show each piece of the equipment, show them what it is, how it works, and then we sit them down and let them play.
That was Kesha's We Are Who We Are on the 9019 WSHR The Arrow.
It is Thursday night and you're listening to the iPod Shuffle every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. I am Angie Paps.
And I'm Kyle Ruby, and it's now 7:27, which means it is time for some weather. I had heard about the station here, there. I had friends in the past who had taken it, and they always said it was so much fun, but I never really believed them because I'm like, oh, it's a school radio station. How fun can it be? But once I got there, it blew everything away I had in my mind. So when do you think her birthday is?
I know her birthday is December 2nd, 1981.
Congratulations. What's her name?
Her name's Anna.
All right, Anna, congratulations.
We're going to do a special shout out.
Britney fan.
You are a huge Britney fan?
Yeah.
Well, keep listening because the questions are going to get harder and harder.
I actually didn't know I was going to be on a radio station when I first signed up for the class. I thought it was just going to be like book work and stuff, and it really raised the level. Mr. Laura, our general manager, walked in the first day and I was like, wait, I'm going to be on the radio? What? It was amazing surprise.
But before being cleared to go on the air, students need to pass an audition, an hour-long recorded show as proof that students can manage a radio show.
I'm not looking for perfection, but what I'm looking for is, can I leave you in this radio station alone, if I had to, and I can come back and the radio station won't be in flames? or an angry mob hanging outside because you said something that was bad. Okay? A lot of times what happens, especially very young people, is they come in there very confident. Oh, okay, now we know how to use the equipment, we're talking. They don't realize what they sound like. You know, mixing the music, how do they handle themselves speaking? Did they do it? Did they try and make an effort to sound articulate? Did they have any research material? Did they do anything that is interesting to the audience?
Call in, give requests, and answer our trivia.
Britney Spears' birthday, when is it? If you have the answer, call in.
You know, these like little basic things that, you know, if I'm listening to the radio, am I going to be excited about it? Do I want to keep listening to the radio show?
Definitely open up. Like the microphone, I know when I turn the microphone on, the perkiness goes up. I'm like hyped up. You have to just have fun with it. You can't be nervous and you don't want to be too scripted.
And usually by the second or even third audition, they finally understand what the station's all about and what it's all about to be a radio personality.
When Laura took over the general manager position in 2001, the station was playing nostalgic jazz, a hard format for high school students to get enthusiastic about.
I knew going in there, the format that we were playing was certainly not for the students. I mean, it was obviously music that the students could relate to. So right there and then, I already knew, all right, we need, in order for kids to enjoy doing what they're doing, we need to make a few changes. All right, first thing on the agenda, we're changing the format. And at first, they were a little reluctant because, you know, it was a format that attracted a lot of older people, and you know, it was a nice, I call it wallpaper music. That's basically what it was. So they were concerned because a lot of older people listened to it, and they would call if, you know, it wasn't on.
The station cut back the amount of jazz in 2006 and again in 2008 before removing it entirely in May of 2010.
It was hard. It was really, really difficult to do. I got a lot of flack from the audience that was listening to the older format, and it was just kind of a difficult thing. But I knew in my mind that I was doing the right thing for the audience.
Aiming for a new look, Laura was looking for a new station logo in early 2010 when it was introduced to Joe Corbacero, the sophomore brother of a student who was already involved in the radio class.
My sister had done the radio station the year before me, and she really enjoyed it. And the funny thing about WSHR is that originally I was designing the program and poster designs for the drama club. And our station manager, Miss Laura, happened to walk in and look at my designs that I was presenting to our drama club teacher. Mr. Laura then came up to me, knowing that I was Kristen's little brother, asking me to design the new station logo. Little did I know that this little agreement would end up me being on the station and putting up with Mr. Laura's madness.
You know, in commercial radio, you have a specific sound that you want the radio to, you know, the radio station to sound like, that, you know, music and of course obviously the air staff. So you base that and you hire those people based on what you want. In our case, because we're a educational facility, you never know what you're going to get.
That's why alumni such as Brianna Bird, who graduated in 2010, are so important to WSHR.
I'm studying audio radio at Hofstra, and this is I know that this is what I want to do.
I always appreciate whenever alumni person comes back, because it's first off, it's always nice to see them. But secondly, sometimes I'm in that, you know, that state where I really could use the help.
They provide the station with stability as well as a mentor for current students.
And I try to take it really seriously because, you know, I know that somebody's listening, even if it's a little kid or it's an adult. Like, there's radio people that could be listening, you know, and I don't want to sound like mediocre or like a high school kid or just a young kid. I want people to think, all right, you know, you sound professional.
Perhaps the most important part of WSHR is the positive and fun atmosphere it provides to the students.
I consider this a second job to myself. I mean, the only thing I get out of it in the end is the greatest times I've ever had in my life.
It's like a family of 30 plus kids, and it's not just the Sachem East studio. You also have the people at the Sachem North studio, and sometimes you'll listen to their shows and call in, and then you'll exchange information and you'll become friends with kids from the other school. That's definitely my favorite part of this, is meeting new people and just enjoying the time I spend with them.